So today I'm going to be talking about appreciating and valuing our challenges, our life challenges, the troubles that we face, the difficulties we encounter. One of the things that I've noticed is that we're in a habit of either trying to pray away the troubles we face or asking God to take away those challenging areas of our lives. Hardly do we ever come into the point when we are in the midst of the trouble, in the trials, in the challenges of life and say, thank you, God, for this amazing trouble. Thank you, God, for this wonderful difficulty I'm having to go through. The reason why we hardly get to that point at that time to even dare call it a place of gratitude for the troubles you get in the midst of it, in the midst of that trial happening, is because our focus is on the hardship we face. Our focus is on the pain we feel. And we hardly ever get to realize when God said in His word in the book of James, He said in His word, when we face trouble, we should count it pure joy. That place of counting it and that word reminding us and telling us to count it pure joy is because it has greatness in it. When we face trouble, in challenges and life difficulties, it comes with greatness. It doesn't come just for the sake of punishing. It doesn't come just for the sake of being a setback. It doesn't come because we have done something that is unforgivable and God cannot just see past it, because He is not any of those things. But because He knows that who He had already called us to be right before we were even born, we are not yet that person. And for us to birth that person who He called us and predestined us to be, we need those troubles. We need those trials. We need those challenges. And when we get through those challenges, they produce the character to sit in the position that He predestined for us. But in the moment when we go through it, we hardly see the reason to be thankful, the reason to count it as pure joy. One of the parts that I did see that God used is so amazing was David. We all know who David was and in his character. We know his good, his bad, his ugly. Right from when he was a little boy, David was already called to be a king. But he did not assume that position right away. Now, as we know David, and so well, strong and powerful, respected, honored, he was a fighter. But David would not have been who he was in that character, like that particular character where he was recognized for those great strengths, if he hadn't faced the trouble. And this is where we lose sight that your trouble, your life challenges, your life difficulties, they're actually with greatness to clearly distinguish you as someone of great character. But you cannot be the great character if you haven't gone through the process. If you haven't gone through that challenge, the life challenges, the troubles that you're running and praying away, and you're asking God to take away, which He's clearly telling you, count it pure joy, because I'm using this trouble, I'm using this challenges, I'm using this pain you're going through to produce the greatness I already called you to be. So when we face trials, we need to change our mind and the way we see troubles. Don't pray away your troubles. Pray through it, because you're already victorious. Pray through it and thank in it. You pray through it and you think in it. When you are in the midst of that pain, that is the best time to give God the glory. When you are in the midst of that sorrow, that's the best time your praise should be lifted high. I remember the time at the peak period of when I felt so broken to the point where I could not hear my own voice even cry out loud to God in prayer. The only thing I knew how to do was praise. And it was only praise in the midst of my trouble, in the midst of my pain, in the midst of my challenge that woke me up. And I took back everything that the devil stole from me. My strength, my power, my dance, my joy, my laughter, my peace. I took each and every one of them back because I know whose daughter I am. Not the divorce that I went through was meant to bring me down, but it was meant to train me and bring me into the character that God called me to be. And I stand firmly and bold because I know God called me to be a daughter of Him, and not a daughter that is rejected by Him, but a daughter that was accepted by Him. And no one, no person, nothing that the enemy had said was clearly going to define who I am. And I chose to stand and take my position because I know who God called me to be. And today I call you out. Let God be the source of your joy. Thank Him in your trouble. Just give Him that praise and thanks even when you cannot understand it. But know when He says count it pure joy. When you go through trials and tribulations and troubles, it is for your greatness. I hope this message has blessed you as much as it has blessed me. And I pray that God will speak into your heart in the same way He has spoken into mine. God bless.